Hi everybody, how are you doing? This is your favorite host SJ Rana, reporting for April 15th, 2022, time about 12:30 hours UTC. So 12:30 hours UTC. So today there are going to be some topics which are more important. I have released 4 videos prior to this in year 2022, and what we are going to look at more closely today is briefly touching various important global geopolitical points and some of the developments which are going on. So first come first, let's quickly review how the Ukraine crisis is developing. More often that we hear that Ukraine has formidable resistance towards the Russian aggression. However, Russia has gone through many setbacks recently, from Moscow warship, which was sunk recently by Ukraine Neptune missile allegedly. However, the Russia authorities still claiming that it was unexploded ammunition which exploded on Moscow warship. However, the Neptune missile was launched by Ukraine as per their claims. We see this was again next escalation, which is going to the same direction of World War III. So folks, the escalations are coming one by one, and as I've been predicting earlier that this is development of World War III. So if you go back and Google search my original article June 2019 where I predicted hashtag MAY2020WW3, where I've detailed how things are going to progress now for 9-10 years. The whole world will be in war situation. So apart from pandemic, which we are still fighting as a war, this Russia-Ukraine invasion and much more is coming up, folks. Because if you look at how NATO is pushing the whole ball game, we're going to see this is going to develop into some more complex, complicated systems. Because right now all the neighboring states of Russia are getting activated. Poland, Austria, all these are getting activated by NATO again. So going forward, this is going to again escalate as I predicted in my last video. For next 2 weeks, next 2 weeks are very, very prominent, very, very important to watch, and they're going to be precursor to World War III situation. Also recently with India and US having the meet 2+2, what they call, I don't understand why they call 2+2. There is no 2+2 sense in it. It's 2,2. So basically US is talking something, India is talking something, but basically planning something entirely different. As you have seen how India junked US ST1 clearance, COMCASA, and even SPAAC agreements, India has already junked. So US keep thinking that India is trying to cooperate or is abiding by the negotiations, whereas India has been junking US negotiations agreements for at least this whole decade. Reason being simple, because India is totally aligning with Russia. If you look at how it has acquired S-400 anti-missile defense system from Russia, even being totally belligerent towards US appeals or US pleading India not to buy it. So US keeps pleading India, but India doesn't care anymore of the US, and that's how it is appearing. And apparently all other NATO nations are paying heed to India, how US keeps pleading India every time. So apart from that, if you look at how again in this recent conference, April 12, 2022, US was pleading India, Biden was pleading, administration pleading India again, that somehow try to cooperate with us. But India doesn't care of the US now anymore. It is just trying to leverage the jobs or the other immigration profile of Indians towards the America, but other than that, it is not having any interest in US. It's because it wants to get the defense deals from Russia, it wants to get the cheaper oil, resources and technological exchanges. That's the reason why India is now more in line towards the Russia. Even in these recent UNHRC voting or UNSC voting, India has been completely silent. It has never said openly in voting that okay, it's trying to oppose the war, the aggression from the Russia. So basically it's saying I'm fine totally if you invade Ukraine or if you bomb Ukraine. India doesn't care. So that sort of empathyless state India is developing into. And what more can be said that recently US and the highest delegation of the US also slammed India for very poor track record of human rights. So India is belligerent on that. India will always recoil back and say, "Oh, US has the worst performing human rights record." So every world community knows the difference between the human rights records of India and the US. So India can keep claiming anything because India government believes that 1.4 billion population can't be wrong, because India government believes that they represent always and every time 1.4 billion population, and if India is doing something, the world must applaud or appreciate. So that's the misconception India is trying to indoctrinate the whole world with, and I think in time to come it's going to become more serious and severe for the world. World has to decide what kind of judgment or what kind of moral and ethical standards India is standing, how much empathyless India is becoming, and it must judge on that accords, not let alone on the GDP or population explosion that India is offering to the world. So 1.4 billion population has big strength, obviously, but does it make any sense towards the development or sustainability for the whole world, or basically the human rights, global human rights, universal human rights for the whole world? That's the question. So I'll give you an example where the biggest fight is going on the domestic front in India, whereas in the marriages of India is having 1.4 billion population. Obviously, it is having at least 500, 600 million population who are married, at least 600 million. So they are still fighting the battle of marital rapes, and despite every now and often there are claims from India Females Organization that they want to have marital rapes law in India, but India government is totally not budging to provide any respite to Indian females, married females especially. And despite their suffering a big time, per the claims and per the reports, India government has been totally belligerent on giving any sort of respite on this. So this is how we come to know how the nation is behaving. Obviously, we know India is known as the world rape capital of the world, especially sexual batteries are too common in India. There are pedophiles racing across streets, pedophiles racing and honking across the streets. They are very common sightings. Anytime anybody can tell you, yes, these people we see around, and they are basically tagging or surveillancing the females, counting the females around. And this is how this whole organized mafia or criminal cartel is developing in India, and they are basically doing trading of females behind the scenes. So these sort of things are coming up, and obviously India government is trying to crack down on this organized trade, organized criminal trafficking of females, drug mafia, but how far has it been able to sustain, to curtail it is a question. Apart from these imposters, impersonators, which are quite popular, India is known for phone spoofing technology, imposters, impersonators who would go around neighborhood and keep befooling the other people. Because the best strategy they deploy is to block the communication. So many times India government is also slammed by World Health Organization that is trying to block the communication of human rights activists. Because I've personally seen that. I've been a human rights activist, social cause activist, philanthropy for last 12 years while I've been in India, but I've seen quite big resistance or curtailment or try to subversion tactics by the government. Even to an extent, I've reported many times that EM weapons are being used around my house. So they have housed some military grade EM equipments very proximity to my house, and they use at different hours to beam the EM weapons directly on me. However, I try to change my location because I sense it just like that. I don't need any equipment, I don't need any device to sense that EM weapon is being used. But I've sensed number of times, I've sent this request and updates to the world, because from satellite, US, Russia, China can always track these human rights violations of EM weapons being used on civilians, military grade EM weapons. So this is some of the human rights concern India is developing into, and I don't know what kind of empathyless state it's going to become in future if such incidents continue on innocents. So anyways, folks, moving on to this Omicron XC, new mutated virus we have seen. Obviously, China is having a big time problem dealing with this lockdown again, and I have seen recent video uploaded where the residents were trying to have uphill battle with the local authorities. They don't want to go through lockdowns because they were being evicted from their apartments or the building where they've been residing. Because of the lockdown measures, they have to accommodate isolation, or what they call as the COVID-19 war. So all these things are developing. World is still not free from it, as I predicted many times that world governments are thanking pedophiles, these sexual predators who are daily infecting multiple host body, females host body, because they're basically adapted towards multiple host female bodies, which they are infecting. They can't live without it. These pedophiles predators are very common, and they are the cause number one for mutations and pathogens. And India is known as a rape capital and also pedophiles capital, because there are many pedophiles predators who are doing such shady business every day and night, and delivery of females are seen across many neighborhoods at night hours because of this metaphor against mafia. So I'll discuss more on this topic when you watch ahead in this series, how these people play games and what these people are up to. But anyways, we move forward with the next important thing which is going to develop now, is how the world financial market are going to come up back from the COVID-19. See, COVID-19 has given a lot of opportunities to many health sectors, to vaccine makers, to other people, but at the same time it has dented most of the economy of the world GDP. But world GDP has been further dented by the Ukraine war, and I guess the India GDP has fallen down much lower than they estimated or they've been projecting. So right now Moody's been downgrading India, and it may come up as a shocker to most of the investors of the world that India may announce sub 8% GDP. Well, it was traversing above 12% just 2 years back, but now it's going to announce sub 8% GDP FY23, FY24 for India. That's the reason why Moody is trying to advise investors that it must move from India to South Africa, because there are many geopolitical ball games, even Russia, Ukraine war, India involvement, and 2+2 or 2.2 meeting, which has been as a failure, I guess, with US and India, may also impose sanctions on India, at least financially, if not otherwise. So we see all this thing going on. Further, we will see major important development is how they're going to take up with the coming in fact of the social media control. So as I've discussed last, folks, I'm very excited to announce that Web 3.0 is in development, is making, they may announce it very soon. So this is going to be a very good feature for world community to traverse into, because Web 3.0 is bound to give you a much more secure platform and much more non-centralized platform. So paying heed to this, Elon Musk has been very close watcher of this new section, and I see yesterday I was very pleased to watch Elon Musk live on TED. UK hosted this event, and they were asking very great questions, and I could sense what Elon Musk is trying to say to world community as well as future of the planet, because he is a visionary also. He has gone through his uphill battles, and I was amused by his statement that he knows manufacturing. He knows manufacturing so well that nobody alive on this planet knows manufacturing so well. So I really applaud his understanding, his vision, and his future development plan. So I think other thing which Elon Musk indicated was complete buyout of Twitter, because this Twitter social media giant has been on the social media for some while now. But I think there are apprehensions from most of the world community who simply dislike Twitter for their policing, for their totally heavy-handedness on innocents, on human rights activists. So Twitter has been acting like a mafia. Their board members have been acting nothing less than a mafia. They have their own policy. They are very vindictive. They don't even give any published claims as to why they will suspend any account for no reason. Recently, when Elon Musk had the stakes up by the shares of Twitter, it was giving the much needed boost on the capitals gained by Twitter. But Twitter wanted to have Elon Musk in its board membership. However, it was not surprising for me that Elon Musk totally declined to join the board member of Twitter. The reason is being simple, folks. I've been telling it again and again. Twitter board is nothing more than a mafia. It's an organized cartel who are working for some organized mafia underground world, who wants to massage the information or present the information the way they like it. So the freedom of speech is totally curtailed, is totally denied on Twitter. Twitter only likes to put the official version, because most of the government accounts are in Twitter. So let's say if India is having a Twitter account, or all of its officials, so India government is going to pressurize a much higher stake, because it will say, hey, I have 1.4 billion population, you do as I say. So it dictates the terms on Twitter. So this is how it is. Tutor is not abiding by some international human rights guidelines or international standards, but it is becoming a policing agency, and that's why Elon Musk has reluctantly been trying to take up the shares, but totally declined openly that it won't join the tutor's board of members because it doesn't want to be a part of such cartel. Obviously, now the other good thing is that complete buyout has been offered by Elon Musk, because Elon Musk is trying to acquire this company as a full, so that it can give gift to the world community to have a free speech, exercise free speech for all the development thoughts and what the humanity requires right now. So this is a very good development. I think everybody should applaud Elon Musk's initiative. I'm fully endorsing it, because that's such visionary world needs. All these entrepreneurs who are trying to build up big empires, they must also be empathiful people. They should also look at sustainability, future energy developments, just like Elon Musk is trying to put great efforts to bring latest kind of batteries so that it can have good retention of produce electricity on the world scale. We can have a sustainability, we can have sustainable environment, we can reduce fossil fuels to entirely zero if we try to stick with the technology. And I guess these entrepreneurs like Elon Musk must be put on as the gems of the world, who are helping humanity make a leap jump towards the next evolution. And this is what the whole Earth planet should be evolving towards the advanced civilization. We should be looking very advanced, so that in case there are ETs, which people will try to again question back on me, that if the ETs look at Earth, they look at as advanced technology, not as someone backward or someone like 10,000 or 100,000 years old from them. They would never be interested in planet Earth. So folks, that's my detour. I don't want to go deeper into ET or phenomena of extraterrestrials, but I'll just skip on to the other topics. That Elon Musk has done a great job in this, and I guess one of the best thing I liked in his yesterday live cast from the TED group, that he mentioned that he likes to be on the path of truth, and he likes to know the truth of the whole consciousness of the whole cosmos. And I think that's the real connectivity which a true human being, a true ethical, moral human being should be questioning. That why are they here for? What is the reason? What is the planet Earth offering them to be as a base? Is it temporary? Is it transitory? Or is it something to learn chapter for next ascension? So this is kind of statement which is very, very phenomenal, and I really loved the way he tried to conjure up the picture of cosmic truth, evolutionary truth, and the consciousness truth. I think these three phases are very important for every human body to understand. So mind, body, and spirit, and what's the role of being truthfulness. The essence of truth is so important that the moment you start having that as a practical aspect in your life, that your every aspect is out of truth, nothing except truth, then I think the whole cosmos, the whole universe, secrets appears to you. That's the secret of Tesla, folks. You ask me what's the secret of Nikola Tesla, how was he advanced 200, 300 years way back ahead of his time? It is because he was a person who followed truth. He was a person who lived the life of the truth. And that's what the sages, the peers, the messiahs, the saints, sages, they have all done the same phenomena, folks. You ask from Jesus Christ to, I'm just divulging a bit from this esoteric world, that if you want to go back and look at the life of these messiahs or these sages like Jesus Christ, be Prophet Muhammad, be it Shri Krishna from the Hindu mythology, Buddha from this Buddha consciousness, or Guru Nanak from the latest divinity we have seen on earth. All these people have one common line, which is following the path of truth and being truthful in their life. That's how the whole cosmos revealed to them the secrets, the everything which was hidden. So this is very simple, folks. The more we try to hide when we tell lie, the more universe tries to hide things from us in that same sense. So it's a talking universe, it's a live universe, it's a live cosmos. The more we become attached, attuned to it, the more we are friendly towards the environment, towards the nature, and try less polluting nature, we are going to be more attuned towards this higher consciousness, and we will be getting more and more advanced civilization when we look at this aspect. Okay, folks, I think I have done a lot of coverage today. I'm going to take a end here to the session, and I'm going to meet you on the next session. You can watch the remaining of the series as is. Okay, take care. See you later.